For stage one, attraction is the first stage of love, and sometimes the coolest stage. You know, it's great. It's not love, but it's the first step toward love. If love were a staircase, it would be the first step of love. That's what attraction is. It's sometimes the most powerful. You're like, wow, the feelings. I feel like I'm on cloud nine. I feel like, when you're with the person, you just get butterflies, cold hands, whatever it is. You feel like you could fly. Whatever those feelings are, it's great. But it's only the first step, and we need to remember that. Some people invest the whole relationship based on how they feel, and that's where you're going to get into trouble. If you're led headlong by your feelings and emotions, that's where you're going to get into trouble. Thus, to climb and navigate this path properly, we need to understand how to go down it and to get through all of these emotions properly. And I find out that most relationships don't navigate through it properly, so we're going to spend the most time on step 1 and step 4, which is marital love, because we all want to be married someday, and many of us, perhaps, here are. So first of all, I want you to understand that emotions are good. God made them good. I wouldn't be married without them. I was talking at a young adult party one day when all of a sudden this light came through the door, and it almost blinded me. I'm exaggerating, but it was my wife who walked through the door, and I just met her for the first time, and it was like slow motion movie. I was having a great conversation with 6 people around me, and then all of a sudden I was like, I just remember focusing on her walking through the door. I don't remember what I was talking about. Don't remember who the people were. I just remember slowly kind of leaving the conversation to go, welcome the new girl to the group. And so that's what I did. And I welcomed her, and she was a little shy at first. And so I was like, maybe this won't work out. But the more I got to know her, the more I liked her. The more I liked her, the more I wanted to get to know her. And to make a long story short, the rest is history. And we actually dated for like a year and a half, and we were engaged for a long time. So, it took a while, but I enjoyed every minute of it. It was wonderful, and I love being married more and more every single day. People tell me, have told me 3 years ago when I got married, one lady told me, just wait till you're married longer, it gets worse. And we wonder why we don't want to get married, and we have issues with fear and commitment, right? But I actually love being married every single day, and it gets better every day. So, just so you can know. So attraction is good. But while attraction is good, we need to realize that it's often superficial. It's very superficial. And it's blind. It doesn't actually see the person for who they really are. And we need to understand that. That's why so many people have fallen out of love, right? I just don't love you anymore. I just don't feel it anymore. Because they're basing love off feelings. And love is not feelings. The Pope says it's impossible, and this is the Pope saying it, so if you don't believe it, think about it a little longer. He says it's impossible to tell how much you love a person just based off feelings and emotions alone. He says it's impossible to find out how much you love someone by the feelings that are generated in you. When I was growing up, I thought the more feelings I felt, the more I daydreamed about them, the more I thought about them, the more I must be love. No, the more it must be puppy love or infatuation or something, but it's not love. Feelings are a part of love, but they aren't love themselves. Love is a deeper friendship, a deeper commitment, something that's much more thought out. And so attraction is that first step. In fact, sometimes feelings and love is opposite, right? If you feel like you want to leave, I'm a guy, I'll use guys for a second. If us guys feel like our passions have been inflamed, and we really like a girl, and we're feeling good about her, and we feel like we want her to lead a place of sin, just because we feel like we want to keep going to a place of sin doesn't mean we should. And it would actually be unloving if we did. So sometimes feelings and love are opposites. And we need to choose to do the right thing despite how we feel. And that's an important point. We can always do the right thing despite how we feel. Feelings are fickle, aren't they? They change with the day, the mood, the time of the month, whatever. They just always change. And so it's like, if you base stuff on feelings, and I think I'm preaching to the choir here, but too many Catholics, including myself sometimes, have based stuff off feelings, and it's always changing. So, Pope John Paul II says that a woman is readily seen by a man, and a man is readily seen by a woman as a good. Like, she's good for me. Like, if you see someone nice looking or strong or attractive walking down the street and you're like, that's good, I'd like some of that, you know? The Pope says that attraction and desire has a consumer mentality, like, yeah, I'd like some of that. You know, or if you see someone, if you're not that confident and you see a really confident man, you're going to see that as a good for yourself. That's attractive. Or if you see somebody, if you're kind of wild and crazy and you see someone who's kind of shy, you might be saying, hey, I like that in that girl. That's kind of cute. You know, she's reserved. She's mature. She's, you know, this and that. I like that. I want that for myself. So it's good that you want for yourself. That's not a bad thing. The problem is that we don't know the person. We need to go to the next step of getting to know the person. You can know everything about a person without actually knowing a person. You can know a lot about a person, but not actually know them. And that's a big thing. So even though he says instantly, it's not going to happen instantly, but it has to happen at some point that we need to get to know the person as a person and to see how valuable they are. Not because they have, you know, a nice legs or a nice smile or nice this or nice that, or they have a lot of cars or money or whatever else. No, those things don't give them value. They are valued because they are prince or princess of heaven. They are valued because they are a person who is capable of perfection, who has free will, and is capable of the most intimate love. That gives them value. So we need to love them and follow them, get to know them as people. And also, we need to choose someone who's capable of loving us in return. Someone who has the maturity that's going to be able to hold the weight of our love without breaking it, and that we can trust in them. We need to be able to put trust in someone, and they need to be able to be strong enough to hold our trust and to carry us. And we need to be strong enough to carry their love and their trust. We need to be someone. How many people don't think they're a gift? When you get married, you give yourself as a gift to someone else. How much time do we spend hating ourselves and wishing we were someone different or looking different, when in fact we don't realize we are a gift we're going to give to someone? Who would want a gift that, you know, if someone just sits there moping in the corner like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, well, what kind of person would want that gift? But if you could look inside and find all of your good qualities and say, I'm this, this, and this, then you'll say, yes, I have something to give. And every single person here has a lot to give. If you don't believe that, you've bought a lot. Actually, let me give you an example first. Let's say that attraction, feelings, and emotion are like a car engine. All right? The more you have them, the more you step on the gas pedal. The more you step on the gas pedal, the faster the car goes. The faster the car goes, the better it feels. You know, the wind's blowing and you're going like 80 miles an hour down the road. It's like, woohoo, the thrill of it is just thrilling. And so, I know, that was deep. So, the faster you go. But the problem is, the faster you go, there's also more possibility to get in a wreck, right? The more possibility that your car is going to be totaled. And it's the same thing in relationships. You know, you might get into someone so quick. Let's say I meet, you know, one of these two ladies in the front, and I just get to know them, and I say, you guys are great, I love you, oh my gosh. You know, and we talked for like 4 hours, and it was just the best thing in the whole world, and whatever it is. And we're like into each other, and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't know each other. Or they drop the bomb like, oh, I have a boyfriend. Or, oh, I'm 10 years younger than you. Or, oh, I hate Catholics. Or whatever it is. Whatever it is. You know the story, right? How many people have you thought that this is the right one? No, this is the right one. This is the right one. It's never working. Why isn't anything working in my life, right? We do that. But, you know, take heart because it'll work. We just can't go like a car engine. We cannot invest our hearts, you know, so quickly into other people. We gotta like let our hearts grow slowly. Our hearts are like a flower, and we have to let it bloom slowly, very slowly. One of the biggest things that destroys relationships, and I've seen it time and time and time and time and time again, the biggest thing that destroys relationships is going too fast, too quick. Getting too caught up in a person, too emotionally invested, in way too, you know, short of a time span. And this happens across the board, whether you're young or old. Sometimes we just get too invested way too quickly. And that is a huge problem. Why? Because we're not following the pathway of love. We're following the pathway of emotions. And emotions don't build love. They build excitement and fade out in time. What it takes to build love is knowing who that person is. Making sure they're a person, and we're a person of character, virtue, integrity. We can communicate with that person. We know their good points and their bad points, and we're okay with that. You know, we need to get to know a person on a deeper level and have a great friendship with them. Because feelings don't last forever. We know that. So, you guys all know the story. You've heard it. You know someone. Maybe you've done it yourself. But we all know the story of someone who just is our friend, and we hang out with them all the time. Then all of a sudden, they get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and boop, they disappear. They're gone. Until they break up with them a year down the line. Then that day, they're calling you again. Hey, you want to hang out? What, I wasn't your friend a year ago? One of the biggest sure-tell signs of an unhealthy relationship is if you lose your friends, you lose your relationship with God, it goes downhill. You lose your family, you lose your hobbies, you lose your interests, and you lose yourself. That is a sure-tell sign that your relationship is not healthy and you need to get out. That's probably why it happens so often and we get so cloudy because we're going so quick, we're going off emotions, and all of our friends and family are trying to tell us this isn't right for you, but oh no, you don't know him like I do. I know him, I know him, I know him. And obviously we know everything that nobody else does, when in fact they know it, and we're just blinded by it until we break up and then see the light. A real relationship will bring you closer to God, closer to your friends, keep your interests and your hobbies, and allow you to keep your own life and self. That's what a real relationship is, not the opposite. So that's why we need to take it slow, because it's very important. Otherwise we get blinded and we can't see properly. A lot of people say that, and again, this is against the wisdom of the world. You know, a lot of people would disagree with me, but I'm right. I think that, especially toward the beginning of a relationship, we shouldn't be calling everybody every day. And we shouldn't be hanging out with them every waking moment. And we shouldn't be hanging out with them all the time. Why? Because, well, we have a life. And we can't dump that whole life just to spend every waking moment with them. You know, we need to take it slowly, be ourselves, keep our friends, keep our hobbies, keep doing the spiritual stuff that we like to do, and have a relationship on the side. And over time, it grows like a steam engine, you know, and it gets faster and faster and faster. And then that's a whole other issue to keep it in control too, because you're like, woohoo, I just want to be with this person all the time. And it's not a bad thing. It's the way God made it. But we need to be mature and go down the pathway of love the right way. There are no shortcuts. There's a stairway to love. And you can't jump upstairs. You have to take it one at a time, or else you're going to fall down. That's just the way it is with love. If you go too quickly and just see the whole person all the time and call them every day and know everything about them, it really does blind you. It really does, you know, it gives you false impressions about who the person is, and you really can't tell who they are. And love, as you've probably found out in your past, or will find out, and I found out, love brings up all your baggage. All the issues that we have, all the insecurities that we have, and I had a whole subscription of issues. I had a lot of issues. I had a lot of very self-destructive, actually other destructive issues. My parents did not have a healthy relationship, and I was not a very nice person in my old days. I used to dress in black, carry weapons, and want to hurt people very badly. So I had a lot of issues, and those come up in love. Or they should come up in love. But if we're going way too fast, like a locomotive down the relationships pathway, then we just avoid those. We don't deal with them. We know they're there, but we just ignore them because everything else feels so good. And it's easy to justify other people's behavior because, well, it feels so good. We don't see the bad stuff in their life either. So it either comes out before marriage, or more likely it's going to come out in marriage. And almost every single one of the people that I know who have got married really quickly, it seems to be a common trend in Catholic circles today, just a whoop, engagement, 2 months, they all say that, like, I wish I waited. I should have waited. I never would have married them if I knew this, if I had waited longer. Let's not make that mistake, because this is happily ever after, or just ever after. Hopefully happily. Shakespeare said, better ill hung than ill wed. Better well hung than ill wed. So we really want to, this is the one of the biggest decisions of our life. It'll either make you miserable or super happy, so we need to make it cautiously. I remember my wife and I had a discussion about a year into our relationship, and I told her, I'm putting up some walls against you. I'm not being myself. I'm putting my best foot forward, and I really want to try and be more vulnerable with you. She said, yeah, me too. So we worked on that for about 5 months, and we came back together, and guess what? We didn't do anything. I was like, I admit it, sweetie, I didn't do anything. I didn't work on anything. Yeah, sorry. I'm afraid to take down these walls in front of you. She said, me too. And so basically it all came down to is everyone puts their best foot forward. And you're not going to find out who a person really is until you take that slow time to get to know them. It's super important to really take your time in getting to know a person.